Right, so I'm hoping this works. I don't know if it's going to, and I'm terrified. For some reason, getting drop frames. I was like, what the fuck am I getting drop frames for? My internet's working fine. Anywho, today I got to keep on looking over like slightly to see whether or not my internet's dying for some ungodly reason. Today we actually are episode 4 of Gold Kamuy season 4, or 40 overall, which is the Kurosawa arc once again. This is the second one of the entire series, the first one being Yojimbo way back when with Hichigata and also Agata. Funny enough, the more I think about it, now it just kind of dawned on me, every single Kurosawa arc that's appeared in the series on reference to the Kurosawa movie, because this one actually is high and low, Ogata's been a part of it somehow. Like, originally Ogata was in the Yojimbo arc because he was the one that's kind of standing on top of the actual tower the entire time. Now we have the actual high and low arc of the entire series, one the probably the quintessential, I guess, maybe actually the quintessential Kurosawa movie, which actually he initiated originally, which is mildly interesting to say the least, actually, when you think about it. Like, he was the one, he initially he instigates the arcs he instigates the arcs which are a reference to Kurosawa movies. That's a very interesting thought I just had just then. Holy shit. Those eye-opening things. So yeah, I really can't wait to see what actually happens here, because this was alluded to in the end of season 3 with when Ogata says his line and then skedaddles off. So I can't wait to see actually how they animate it, because this arc is fucking cool. So watching Golden Kamuy. Alright, cool. And sorry, apologies for the slight scuff stream. It's because I've just changed over entire computers, so it might be a tad scuff for like the first, I'd say, couple of streams, and then I'll probably go back to normal instantly. Don't worry. Anyways, let's start this thing in 3, 2, 1. Let's start this thing absolutely now. This has been one of the ones I wanted to see animated for quite a while. Maybe because it's very cool. It's very cool. I won't take the entire credit for the whole high and low reference, because it actually wasn't mentioned in the chapter when it actually came out. I do kind of appreciate it, like, okay, how do you not tell that's Surumi? I actually can't go past how hot he actually was, how hot Surumi was back then. Like, good lord. Man's got some looks. Damn, he actually stopped the, he stopped it, and then subsequently actually managed to break it, and then also slap him. It's pretty impressive. Probably a bit column A, bit column B, to be honest. I will say that actually the animation's actually improved since the first couple episodes, I must say. It's a bit more like vibrancy to it. I don't know how to explain it, but it seems a bit different to how it was originally in season 4, which is like 3 weeks ago at this point. But yeah, it's a bit weird to explain. So yeah, I mean, it's nice that we actually finally get like the progression of this whole entire reference in a way, because it was one of those things that it was like Ogata just randomly says it. You're like, what the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck are you doing, my boy? To actually then he mentions Tsukushima, what the hell does this even mean? To actually then go into the backstory of it. this is one of the cooler parts of the entire manga towards like the tail end of it. So it's actually kind of cool that we actually now find things animated, which I imagine we might actually do. Which I imagine now, looking over this whole entire thing, I imagine we might end on that whole entire event in 270, around about there. So I actually can't wait, because it's going to be a doozy. I really do hope then, I really hope that this series actually does, in theory, actually get a few more seasons, like a bit more routinely, other than every couple of years, because good lord, the wait between seasons is insane. Like, good god. So I'm actually glad it's actually back. It's been great so far. They actually animated it really well. I mean, Kakuta actually appearing and Ariko appearing as well. It's just icing on the cake, and they're amazing. I love them. I was gonna say, microphone says it's actually muted. I'm actually kind of scared. I was like, wait a minute, is my microphone muted this entire time? That'd be really awkward. Nope, this actually doesn't actually change it. Alright, makes sense. I'll just leave it. It also does sort of kind of go into the whole entire backstory of Surumi, and subsequently actually Koito as well, because again, there's always been that fascination between the two of them. That you kind of wonder, but why? Like, why is such like deep devotion to him? Why is it that he kind of can't get enough of him, basically? And now we're kind of gonna find out. It's also subsequently, if I remember correctly, does sort of delve into a little bit to who Surumi is as a person as well, to understand why he does what he does in a way, and actually how he achieves it. He's a very interesting character because of it. That's why I don't really write him off as an antagonist, because he's very thoughtful in actually how he approaches every single thing he does. Oh shit! I was gonna say they should went full on with the violence. Because I know sometimes they tend to actually kind of like not show it too much, but no, they were full on. I actually just can't get past how much of a lucky actually was back then, to be honest, old Surumi. And when the first time we actually saw him, like, what the fuck? He was hot. And now it begins. Because if I remember correctly, the whole entire storyline of High and Low, with the English title, it's also called like the Hell of Hate in Spanish, I believe, as well, or it's called Infierno de Odio, basically, which has like 4 different ways of translating it. But anyway, if I remember correctly, it's the idea that the person's son gets kidnapped and held for ransom, basically. If I remember, that's a storyline. Though it's very interesting to help. The whole entire thing is very fascinating. Like there's layers here. There's layers here. That's why I love this arc so much. There's actually so many layers to it. Though I don't know if we'll can't remember if we see speaking of different characters, don't know if we actually see Ogata that much in season 4. I know he's in the later arc of this. I think it takes place after this one, if I'm not mistaken, or the one after that. I'm having Ogata withdrawals at this point. I didn't see that evil cat man. There's a sense of vibrancy to it, a bit more than usual, to be honest. I don't actually know how to explain it. It seems a bit more vibrant than usual. It's a bit, again, it's one of those. This is one of those shows is that it tends to kind of like the artwork in Golden Kamuy is like incredible. It's probably one of the best in the entire business. And actually now Brain's basically kind of taken over. It's kind of given a bit more vibrancy to it. Not to discredit Gino, because Gino did amazing work anyway. But it's one of those things that is quite interesting to see how much actually has changed in that way. This is a really long telescope though. What happens then? I love Surimi so much. For reasons that will become more apparent later on. Do I actually wonder whether or not it's actually going to be 2 episodes long or just the one? Oh shit. Oh shit. I actually kind of appreciate how he's been put between the rock and a really fucking hard place. Ah. Oh. Oh shit. Cracks begin to show. Cracks are showing. I do actually kind of like how it is, and don't get me wrong, kidnapping storylines tend to always kind of have that level of like doubt of to whether or not it's authentic in that kind of approach. But I like how it's done here. Like in essence, it's like very, very small things that you kind of pick up on. Like you go, all right, I see. Maybe this isn't all it seems. Just like straight up like, yeah, bro. Say it's just one of those things. You're just being like, you're just kind of like, that's a massive bra moment. That's got to be up there on the bra moments on bra moment scales. This also kind of paid very much a lot of attention to that as well. Ah! Go to a Kaku. Ah! Oh no! I remember this one. This was actually great. Okay, but can we just appreciate how fast Ruby actually goes? In the wise words, he do be fast as fuck, boy. He's so like nonchalant about almost like losing part of his face to the floor. I love it. He's kind of very nonchalant about it. If I remember correctly, it's actually a reference to Night and Day, apparently. Same thing happens in Night and Day, and Tom Cruise and the lady from the lady from the mask. A dad does not give up. Imagine, I just what I need to like, what I need to like theorize is how it must feel to actually like see your dad burst in just his underwear. Like, it's one of those things of being like, what the fuck? Foot. Think also it's a Freddie Mercury reference as well. Ah! I would actually hope, like, and pray that Sumi just kept the same get up as the show went on. Just has like sleeveless, just has sleeveless shit all the time. Koito, you dumb boy. Interesting. That might play a pivotal role later on. Were they though? Were they though? Evil Catman appears once again. I love how that was probably his only line in the entire, like, I think, if I remember correctly, for most of the series actually, for this season. It's one of those things that makes you go, it's interesting. I wonder what's going on there. Yeah, I mean, they adapted it really damn well. It was pretty much, to my knowledge, nothing wrong with it. It was good all around. Further kind of makes you wonder what's going on here, to be honest, because there's a lot more underneath the surface than originally led on. It then, if there's anything to go by, if it is, let's say just yet, because it's not really fully revealed, if Centivision actually did in theory kind of do something here, it paints a very different picture to how Surumi Koito's relationship actually truly is, because it kind of, like, if you look at it from the perspective of what's going on here, theoretically speaking, there's a lot more manipulation than just, oh yeah, by the way, it's very just normal devotion. I mean, don't get me wrong, he saved your life and everything like that, but it's not a legitimate way of doing it, if it is. And again, it kind of does in theory paint that idea, because at the end it does reveal it. And then also subsequently the idea of, if I'm not mistaken, I swear he's the one also that actually puts his hand on Koito's back, which does in theory kind of go back to the whole entire familial aspect of his character. So yeah, I mean, it's great. The way it kind of does in theory play with the perception of what's really going on here is fantastic. It's one of those things that really does in theory always remind me how good Golden Kamuy actually is, because it always is one of those things. It's never as it seems, and then when you kind of know more about it, it does in theory change perception so much in the entire series. It makes you kind of go, what the fuck? Like, now you don't see Surumi and Koito's relationship the same way ever again. It's the same thing. I guess it's the same thing applies to him and Tsukishima as well, because again, there is this idea that he doesn't necessarily kind of go by the normal laws of like, okay, you know what, fuck it, I will be a good person. I'll be a good person and actually not be evil and get loyalty through a normal way. No, how Surumi does it is through manipulation, which is kind of like a very, very not good tactic. Let's be real. And by all accounts, when he's doing that, it makes you kind of question constantly what he's truly trying to do here, because we know his eventual outcome in what he wants to do, but at the same time, the way that he goes about doing it makes you kind of question. But why would you implicate all these people that would otherwise kind of perish at this point? So yeah, because Koito does vehemently, is that the correct term? Does, by all accounts, really respect him, to the point that it's actually like very, very scary devotion. So Kishima doesn't really kind of exert the same level of like, what's the word, of like enthusiasm towards him, but he does in theory support him to the very bitter end, or would support him to the very bitter end in this context. But again, we know more about what went on there, so I actually kind of question again, like, it doesn't really feel genuine, and the entire thing just makes you kind of feel a little bit like, oh, it's kind of disgusting in that way, if you kind of think about it. It's not very good. I don't like it. Look at one bit, if that's the way of looking at it. It's a very interesting arc for that reason, because it does sort of start to paint Surumi in a very different light, but also being a reference to a very good movie as well, High and Low, or yeah, High and Low. I get why it's called High and Low, because it's called Heaven and Hell in Japanese, so High and Low makes sense. The other one I know is it's actually called The Ransom in England as well, which sort of makes more sense than High and Low, I guess, because it's about ransom. So it has about 4 different titles, and I know in Spanish it's Infierno de Odio, which is, well, the hell of hate, as it would be literally translated to, I believe. So yeah, I mean, as said, can't wait to see what this show does do, because this show is brilliant for that reason. It's one of those things that really does in theory kind of make me go that this is actually a show that's very special, and it's very fucking underrated, because it just has these arcs that makes you go fuck, what the fuck, man. So yeah, can't wait to see what happens next. So for all that said, I've indeed been the driver. So as always, if you actually have enjoyed this stream, sorry for it being quite scuffed, and I still need to figure out a lot of things with this. Is it still dying on Twitch? It's still somewhat okay. I don't know why it's saying it's not going so well. So it's a bit scuffed. I will kind of figure out the actual kinks in this stream and actually fix it as well. So if you actually have enjoyed this stream, as always, then do leave a like on YouTube, leave a sub as well. Both help quite a lot. Have they enjoyed the entire stream, then you follow on Twitter, or join Discord as well. Both do help quite a lot. Both will then tell you when the streams are live and any other streams I do as well. Until next episode 41 of Golden Kamuy, or episode 5 of season 4. See you guys then. Bye for now. Hello, how's it going? Sorry, just joined right at the end as well. I will see everyone later.